I'm Alec Lace. Welcome to First Class Fatherhood. Welcome, everybody, to episode 462 of the podcast. I am happy, as always, to be here with you. Thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, please get over there and bang that subscribe button. You do not want to miss all the action that's coming your way right here on First Class Fatherhood. All right, dads, I have got an awesome guest for you guys today. Anthony D'Amico found his true love on the reality show Married at First Sight. Married at First Sight began in 2014. It features 3 to 5 couples each season who are paired up by relationship experts and agree to marry when they first meet. Anthony was featured on season 5, where he met his now wife, Ashley. The couple remains happily married, and they just welcomed their second child, second daughter. The couple will be featured on Lifetime's Married at First Sight's Couples Cam, so you can check them out over there. I've got Anthony with me here today. Anthony D'Amico will be here with me in just a few minutes, so please stick around for the interview. And today's interview with Anthony D'Amico was recorded on video and is available for you guys to watch on my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to watch the conversation between the Married at First Sight star and myself, please get over and hit me with a subscribe on YouTube, First Class Fatherhood. The link is in the description of today's podcast episode. And if you guys enjoyed today's interview with Anthony D'Amico, you may want to go back and check out my interviews with other reality TV show dads, including John Gosselin, Adam Busby, Matt Roloff, Bill Klein, and so many others. They're all available for you guys to listen to in the archives of the podcast. And be sure you guys to follow me over there on Instagram at Alec_Lace for all the upcoming guest announcements. I got some real bangers coming your way for next week, including one of the main stars of Beverly Hills 90210, one of the Backstreet Boys, and a Navy SEAL. So find out who they are. Follow me over there, Instagram at Alec_Lace. If you guys are enjoying listening to this podcast, please hit me with that rating or review over on iTunes. That really goes a long way to help me out. And as always, guys, please help me spread the word about the podcast. Every father in your neighborhood or in your contact list, let them know about the show to see us celebrating fatherhood and family life. Fatherhood rocks, family values rule, and every day is Father's Day right here with me. And I'm going to be right back with Anthony D'Amico. I'm Alec Lace, and you're listening to First Class Fatherhood. All right, dads, if we learned anything this last year, it's that building health and immunity is more important than ever, and that all begins with what you put on your plate. Bel Campo is on a mission to revolutionize the meat industry for the well-being of people, the planet, and animals by farming meat the right way with certified humane, regenerative, and climate-positive practices, which means it's better for you, the planet, and the animals. That's a trifecta that I'm proud to be a part of, and right now, First Class Fatherhood listeners can have Bel Campo sustainably raised meats delivered right to your door using my promo code FATHERHOOD at belcampo.com/fatherhood and get 20% off your first order. Go visit belcampo.com/fatherhood, use the promo code FATHERHOOD at the checkout, and save 20% off your first order at Bel Campo. Joining me now, First Class Father, Anthony D'Amico. Welcome to First Class Fatherhood.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, let's start it right here. How many kids do you have, and how old are they?
2 kids, basically under 2. One's 6 weeks, the other one's about 2 and 3 months. So, yeah, I guess you can call her 2.5.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, congratulations on the newborn. And did you guys do a gender reveal to find out what you were having with both, or did you wait until the end to find out?
Ashley did a semi-gender reveal surprise for our firstborn, Mila. And then for Veda, we did a full-on cannons, all that good stuff for Veda. And, yeah, both times it was pink. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I got 4 kids myself, and 3 times we did like a gender reveal type of thing, and 1 time we waited till the end to find out. So either way, it was a great experience for us. So,
did you find that waiting to the end was what you wanted?
I like doing it either way. My wife wanted to find out the first time, and it was kind of before all the gender reveal stuff really happened. This was back in 2005. So it was around Christmas time when we could find out. So we had the obstetrician put it in an envelope with what it was. We hung it on the Christmas tree, and then we went to church, and then after midnight mass, we came home, and we just opened it up together and found out what we were having. So that was kind of like
nice.
The gender reveal thing that we did. But yeah, we were waiting, and it was another boy. It was our 3rd boy. So then we ran around for the last time, and for our girl, we had our 3 boys sitting down, and they opened up the envelope, and they told us what we were having. So nice. That's kind of how we worked it out. But listen, if you could, Anthony, please just take a minute here to hit my listeners with a little bit about your background.
So yeah, Anthony D'Amico from, I guess you'd best know me from Married at First Sight. We've had a couple of spinoffs since then, probably at least four. But yeah, I got married at first sight, and we are currently approaching our 5-year wedding anniversary, crazy enough. So we're definitely one of the success stories out of the show.
Yeah, awesome to see that too. So after having this experience, being on the show and all that, how did the experience of becoming a father kind of change your perspective on life?
I mean, there's really no words for saying, it's amazing to be a father. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's one of the craziest experiences I definitely had was when Mila first came out. I mean, I was in tears, and I didn't have any. There's no there is no words for that type of experience. It's more than a miracle. It's amazing. But how it changed my experience on my just life in general, as far as my focus. I mean, there's nothing you wouldn't do for your kids, especially at this point when they're younger. I mean, definitely turned me into Papa Bear. The level of protector that I think I've turned into is like turned up tenfold. So, yeah, I mean, everything you do now is for your kids. I mean, you still got to keep yourself in there a little bit, like 10% of the time. But overall, you're definitely doing it for your kids.
Yeah, good stuff. And Anthony, what was the genesis of you deciding to go on the show, Married at First Sight? Why did you decide to go on the show? How was the experience for you?
Decided to go on the show because I was kind of getting sick of getting the dating life was getting a little crazy. I think that was just around the time that I think Tinder had just started coming out. Not really, maybe it was Tinder, was it? I don't know. There's so many different apps out there now that you can jump on for dating. It's insane. But, it was just crazy. Like people would, you would ghost people, they'd ghost you back, and then get in this whole carousel of craziness for dating. And I was like, you know what? Once I got connected with the show, it was a total different experience of how the science behind it is what I really appreciated. The fact that you get matched. I mean, it was like 24 hours of questionnaires, like straight. That's how long it took me to fill this thing out. But with that, it's also like you think about things that you would never think about as far as having a partner. So, between do you prefer straight or curly hair, or do you prefer, browns, brunettes? Like there's so many other things. Like, do you value going outdoors versus, staying at home for a date? There's just so many things that came up with it. So I really appreciated that side, and the fact that I was taking some of the work out of my hands and giving it to the experts, and then they're matching me with some that they thought was a really good match for me, which obviously worked out. So that was my whole reasoning for going on the show, and then everything fell into place after that.
Yeah, obviously it was a great experience for you. So it worked out very well. Now, have you and Ashley decided whether or not or when you would allow your kids to actually watch the season where you two guys first met and fell in love?
We kind of discussed that. I figured with the way technology is happening these days, even if I say, hey, we're not going to show it to them, they're going to eventually see it, or someone's going to tell them, or somehow, some way, it's going to happen. So at some point in time, maybe we'll all sit down and watch it together. I'm thinking maybe in their teen years, but I don't know. It could happen before that, I guess.
Yeah, I get a slightly different response when I ask some of the bachelors that I've had on the show here, because they're making out with like 20 different girls during the season where they actually met the mother of their child. So they're saying they want to try to hide it as long as possible, So, and then pulling it back into you here as a father, Anthony, what would you say are the top values that you're hoping to instill in the girls growing up?
I think some of the top values, first of all, family, just the importance of having family and being around family and doing things with family. I think that's the number one. Empathy for others is definitely the second one. I think you need to care for everyone around you, especially with all the crazy stuff going on in the world right now. Just having love and care for your fellow person next to you, I think that's huge. And, I think respect is another one. You want to make sure that you get in there. I mean, there's so many. It's like you want to make sure they have all the values. But you got to figure out, which ones are most important. Also, I think a big value that I have for myself is, giving and keeping your word that you give. I think that's a big one that I think a lot of people don't really look into as much. It's like, I gave my word, I'm going to come through with what I said I was going to do. So I want to make sure that's in there as well.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're so family focused, because I do stress it on this show a lot about, I talk about the fatherless crisis that we have going on in the country. We got so many kids that are growing up without a father or a father figure in their life, and it has a devastating result on our society. And I just think, I mean, my whole goal here is to try to show young men that, fatherhood is something to embrace, not something to avoid. And I think all the things that we're seeing, we're trying to solve all these other different societal issues. And if we don't get to the core of it all, which is our nuclear, like our family units, then we're just going to be running around in circles here. So I love the fact that you are family focused. And I think it does bring a positive light to fatherhood in general.
Yeah, I think you hear a lot. It takes a village, right? It doesn't always take a village, but it's nice to have that village support. So whether it's grandparents, aunts, uncles, it does make me kind of crazy that I guess I don't fully get it. I know everyone's situation is different, but how some of these dads can, in a sense, just be so void in their kids' life. So I mean, obviously there might be something going on, but I could never do that. I mean, I would want to be, even if something, worst case scenario happens from, I guess if you think about it, in someone's relationship, if something happens with the relationship itself, the kids are still there. They're still your kids. So, you want to make sure you're there regardless. And it drives me nuts that you see so many dads in the world bail out.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to the fact that our society or the culture has provided a way for these guys to think that it's acceptable in some way. They get the idea that it's okay to just walk away and leave the responsibility. I actually spoke with Hall of Famer Michael Irvin down at the Super Bowl last year, and he went on a passionate piece about, he doesn't condone divorce or separation, but he said, if you got to divorce your wife, but never, ever divorce your kids. And he encouraged the young men to stay on their post, so.
Makes total sense.
Yeah, and I think that's really what's important. And then how about for yourself here, Anthony, with the two girls that you got? What's your bedtime routine look like? Are you a storyteller, a book reader, a lullaby guy? How do you get them down to bed? All right, dads, where are you buying the meat that nourishes you and your family? I used to get mine at the supermarket, but now, thanks to Belcampo, it comes straight to my door, and it's far better and healthier than what I was used to. And thanks to my new partnership with Belcampo, First Class Fatherhood listeners can now benefit as well. Grass-fed and pasture-raised meats like Belcampo have 5 amazing benefits for your health compared to conventional meats. Healthy fats, omega-3s, antioxidants, minerals, and yes, more omegas. Belcampo animals grow more slowly as nature intended. This is a difference you can both see and taste, and I'm telling you right now, guys, once you try it, you'll make the switch just like I did. Hey, it's your family, dads. Give them the nutritious meats that they deserve, and if you order right now, you can save 20% off your first order. Go to belcampo.com/fatherhood. That's belcampo.com/fatherhood, and use the promo code fatherhood to save 20% off your first order. All right, guys, and the way Belcampo raises its animals isn't only better for your health, it has a positive impact on the environment as well. Go visit belcampo.com/fatherhood, use that promo code fatherhood, and save 20% off your first order. A gift for first-time customers from First Class Fatherhood. All right, dads, MyPillow has got so much more to offer than just the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own, but don't just take my word for it. Here's my wife to tell you her favorite product from MyPillow. Honey, what is it?
Well, I love all the MyPillow products, from the robe to the towels, but my absolute favorite, hands down product is the MyPillow mattress topper on our king size bed. I have the best sleep since owning that topper. It's like sleeping at a spa resort, and I can't wait to sleep on it tonight.
And I look forward to seeing you there tonight. And let me tell you something right now, guys. Happy wife, happy life. And this mattress topper has been a game changer for me. That's a guarantee. And speaking of guarantees, all MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? First Class Fatherhood listeners can now save up to 66% off. That's right, up to 66% off your order using my promo code FATHERHOOD. Visit MyPillow.com and use the promo code FATHERHOOD to save up to 66% off, or use the 800 number. That's 1-800-875-0219, 1-800-875-0219, and your savings will be applied instantly. Visit MyPillow.com, use the promo code FATHERHOOD, and save up to 66% off your order at MyPillow. And then how about for yourself here, Anthony, with the two girls that you got? What's your bedtime routine look like? Are you a storyteller, a book reader, a lullaby guy? How do you get them down to bed?
All right. So initially, right now, the bedtime routine is mainly for Mila. Initially, we were doing a lot of books. She really was enjoying that. But now with the technology and everything out there, she's got her little Kindle and everything else that she has. What we like to do, she's huge into music, so she likes the different songs not so much lullabies, but like Itsy Bitsy Spider. She's got one that she likes really now. That's, this is my happy face. I could sing it. I could sing the whole song by myself because we listen to it all the time, so I know every song by heart. But yeah, so we'll sit there and we'll listen to what she calls one Elmo. She tries to get to 3, 4, and 5. Of course, she probably listened to them all night if she could, but we try to keep it to about 2. But yeah, she likes to jam out with some music before she goes to bed, and then she's usually good. So that's the routine right now.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I tried singing to my kids early on, but that ended up keeping them up longer at night, so I switched real quick there. And then, Anthony, obviously the pandemic has turned all of our lives upside down. Having your second child here during the pandemic, I would imagine, was slightly different than having your first. Were you able to make it to all the doctor appointments? Were you able to be there for the delivery? What was the process for you like going through the pregnancy and delivery during the pandemic?
2 totally different pregnancies. Completely different pregnancies, and even the from start to finish was completely different. For Mila, our firstborn, I was at almost every single appointment that Ashley had. Literally, I don't think she went to more than 5 that I wasn't there for. Pretty sure if something came in the way that I couldn't make the appointment, but I was pretty much at every single appointment that she was at. For Veda, her second, I wasn't at any. The only thing that Ashley was able to get me into was one of those 3D or 4D, whatever they call it, birth, like scanning places where you can kind of see what the baby looks like at a certain age, or at a certain point in the pregnancy, and you get to hear the heartbeat and everything. So I didn't hear the heartbeat of Veda until she was, I think she was like 7.5, 8 months. Wow. So. I didn't even get to do any of that stuff. But I was able to be in the room for the delivery and all of that. We had to wear masks and all that, but that was fine. But overall, I didn't feel like I was as involved with this pregnancy as I was in the first one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be so many more stories coming out about families that have had either their first child or a child during this thing. So it's been a crazy year for all of us here. And, one thing I want to ask you here, I know obviously your daughter is young yet for this, but what type of disciplinarian are you as a dad? Are you a spanker, a timeout guy? How are you as a disciplinarian? Is that different than the discipline style you grew up with?
I thought I would know this going into it, because I was obviously brought up in a pretty strict Italian family. They were spankers. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I will be, maybe I won't. And obviously you have to bring your wife into the fold, or your partner into the fold with this. She's not as much into spanking, so obviously that went out the window. Timeouts, yes. Right now it's just trying to get her to listen. How do you get her to listen to you? Listen to me. Do this or this. But I'm pretty big in, it's, if there is going to be discipline, it's going to be, this is why this is happening. So I'm going to turn off your whatever. I'm going to take away your tablet, or, we're going to sit in timeout for a couple minutes. And I'm going to tell you why we're doing this. So you don't think it's just, I'm just being mean dad or something, but I'm going to tell you why this is happening. And I'm definitely the bigger disciplinarian in the house, I think.
Yeah, very cool. It's still something I'm actually trying to figure out. With all 4 of my kids, each one of them requires a different philosophy as far as discipline goes. I have one child, you could spank them all day long. It ain't going to change anything. I got another one you could threaten to spank, and then that'll be the end of it, So they all respond differently. One thing I usually suggest is when they're old enough to communicate and to talk, they have this the 5 love languages that I know they recommend that couples do together. But I also recommend doing it with your kids. It gives you a better insight into how they give and receive love, and it helps with the discipline process as well.
Something that we had to do for Married at First Sight anyway, learn our love languages. So
okay, so you're familiar with it.
Experience with that, yep.
Yeah, definitely. It's something definitely to do with the kids as they get a little bit older there too. It definitely gives you a little insight into helping with discipline. It's done that for us at least, and I'm definitely different. My girl is my only girl. She's my baby. She's 6. And my wife is constantly getting on me that I'm not hard enough on her as I am on the boy. So I'm definitely working on that as I can here.
I think that's natural though. I think having boys like your dads, you're like, hey man, tough it out. Like, you want to make sure that they're going to be the man you want them to be, right? Or the best man that they can be. Not that what you want them to be, but the best man that they can be. So you're obviously going to be a little bit harder on them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's a definite difference for sure. And what about you now, Anthony? What kind of goals or plans do you have here for yourself for the future?
Just trying to do this whole family thing in line. Are we done having kids? We're gonna have another one. We don't really know yet. But then, we're actually going to take off and do some family time. I really want to get our family vacations kind of figured out. Not so much like, hey, let's go on this crazy, ridiculous vacation, but really instilling that family time that we can have together. So in the month of May, actually, we're going to be gone for a whole month. We're going to relocate to Florida. Nothing crazy, just literally a change of scenery. And since I can work from home right now, and I don't know how long that'll be for, might as well take advantage of it now while we can.
Yeah, very cool. And the last thing I'm going to hit you with here, Anthony, I'd love to ask all the dads that get on the podcast, what type of advice do you have for that new dad or for that about-to-be father who's out there listening?
First and foremost, be hands-on from the very beginning. Really get to learn and understand your child. And obviously, there's not too much understanding you're going to have from your newborn, but be hands-on. Talk to your baby as often as possible. It doesn't have to really mean anything. I talk to Veda all the time, and she just looks at me like, what? But overall, you're still talking to her and having those conversations. It really helps them connect with you. I like, having them fall asleep with me on top of them for a little bit, taking little naps. And, make sure you get that one-on-one time in there as often as you can. I mean, they're only going to be little for so long. So definitely make sure you're getting that one-on-one time.
Yeah, great message. It's been a lot of fun for me. I got to say, Anthony D'Amico, you're a first-class father all the way, and thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your time here on First Class Fatherhood.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Back to wrap things up here on First Class Fatherhood. I got to give a special thank you once again to Anthony D'Amico for giving me a few minutes of his time here. That was so cool. Please hit me up on Twitter, guys, or drop me a DM on Instagram. Let me know what you thought about today's episode. I always love to read your feedback. Make sure you lock it in. Friday, I have got Bassem Youssef, the Egyptian political satire comedian, will be joining me here. Follow me on Instagram at Alec_Lace for all the upcoming guest announcements. I got some great ones coming your way soon. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm Alec Lace. You've been listening to First Class Fatherhood, and I say thank you for doing so. Please remember, guys, we are not babysitters. We are fathers, and we're not just fathers. We are first-class fathers.
Your half-truths and tales as tall as a trees had us all feeling